Hey everyone, Board Game Bro here. Today we are going to end out the series top 5 games you can play online for free. Some previous videos we did on it was the top 5 party games you can play online for free and the top 5 3 to 4ish player games you can play online. And today we are going to cover the top 5 2-player games you can play online. And key benefit here, it's not always easy to get 7 or 8 people online with their schedules coordinated to play. At least that's what my friends tell me. But with COVID going on, they shouldn't be doing anything right now. Are my friends lying to me? Anyway, today we're going over the top 5 2-player games you can play online for free. The reason I'm doing these videos, I've had a lot of people come to me complaining about the fact that social distancing and COVID and having everything digital it's been very difficult to get board games to hit the table. And for me, it's not a problem I've had. I've known about a lot of games you can play online for free for a very long time. So all through COVID, I've been playing them. So I want to share that information with you. And today we're going to cover the top 5 2-player games you can play. So a couple things here. There are way more games out there than the ones I'm going to mention. But in my experience, a really good game can be put online, but it can be terrible because they half-assed putting the platform together. So not only am I vouching for the game itself, but also that the platform you're going to play on is quality, that it's easy to play, that it's not buggy. So that way you're going to have a great gaming experience as soon as you jump on. So find a friend and let's go through the top 5 games you can play online for free. Number 1 is going to be Dice Throne. We're going to find Dice Throne on Tabletopia. So if you're unfamiliar with Tabletopia, go to tabletopia.com. The link for all of these is going to be in the description. But Tabletopia.com is incredibly similar to Tabletop Simulator, though it has lots of free games while you have to spend money to get on Tabletop Simulator. I've already got a game of Dice Throne going, so I'm going to hit continue so we can jump in and take a look. All right, well, if you are unfamiliar with Dice Throne, if you are looking for deep strategy and tactics and planning your moves well ahead, then continue looking. That is not this game. This game is a Yahtzee variant, like King of New York or King of Tokyo. What you're going to end up doing is you are going to pick a hero. So let's say I want to be a moon elf. And your opponent, your other player, is going to pick maybe the Shadow Thief over here. And you guys are going to have a battle to the death. The way it works is each turn you're going to roll. Each turn you're going to roll some dice. Let's take these. Let's roll them. You're going to get several attempts to roll and, select the dice you want and re-roll some of them. And ultimately what you're going to do is you're going to take the symbols that are on here and pair them up to your character board. Like I said, I'm the moon elf. So if you look, there's a bunch of symbols on here saying, okay, well, if you can get these 3 bow and arrows and 2 of these moons, well, then you can inflict targeted and deal 4 damage. And targeted is a little special status you're going to put on them. The details of that aren't really important. What's key here is that you are rolling dice, finding out what abilities you can use, and then attacking your opponents. Often your opponent, so let's go over to the Shadow Thief, is going to have the ability to defend against your attacks. See, they have a little defensive roll, and based off of what they get, they're able to either do damage back or defend some of the damage, and you go back and forth until you die. There's cards in the game that are going to help interrupt each other's rolls or control some of the randomness of the game, and everyone's got their own little special abilities. So if you see I can inflict like poison on you, or I can hide in the shadows. Ultimately, this is a really fun game. It's light. There is not a lot of strategy, but it's just enough here where if you lose, you can be like, well, damn, the dice screwed me. But if you win, you can feel like it was all because you outmaneuvered your opponent. You'll be able to pick from 6 separate heroes. They all play and feel very different, which keeps the game from getting too stagnant. And the games are so quick that you can get a lot of these in before you're ready to go do something else. So very easy to jump on, play a couple games with a friend quickly. Highly encourage this game. Number 2 is going to be Codenames Duet. In order to play Codenames Duet, you're going to go to codenamesgreen.com. It's going to give you a little seed word. Don't worry about it. Just hit play, share the link with your friend, and you are off to the races. You're ready to play. In Codenames Duet, it is a 2-player version of Codenames, where normally in regular Codenames, it's 2 teams against each other trying to guess all their words. In this one, you and your other player are trying to get all the words on the board together. Now, here's the catch. There are 15 words total that need to be guessed. You have 9 of them. Your other player has 9 of them. And if you have any talent in math at all, you will realize that is 18, not 15, which means you share some of these words. Here's your death words. You share some of, but not all of, the death words, which means sometimes you're guessing your own death words, which is scary because they actually share some of your death words. So it's a really good twist on the normal code names. It's a way to do it two-player. It's still very thinky. There's lots of layers to the clues that you have to give. In this version, you have 9 rounds before you lose. So you got to guess all 15 of them in 9 rounds. It's a lot harder than it sounds. Besides that, there's not a whole lot to say about it. I mean, it's Codenames. It's a great game, and this is actually one my wife likes to play a lot. She's not much of a board gamer in the first place, so this is one we're willing to bust out quite a bit, and now you can play it online.
Number 3 is going to be Seven Wonders Duel.
In order to play Seven Wonders Duel, you're going to go to 7e.mattel.online. This is the two-player version of Seven Wonders. It's a completely separate game. What's going to happen is, much like in Seven Wonders, we are going to build our civilizations by pulling a variety of cards and building our own little wonders. That's what we're selecting right now, is the wonder cards. And instead of the normal drafting that happens in Seven Wonders, instead you're going to have this pyramid. And this pyramid contains all of the cards that we're going to select throughout the round. And you're going to notice some of them have symbols. They're cards that we can see. And some of them are blank. And that's because they are hidden behind these cards. So if we can unhide the card, I'm going to buy a couple cards real quick and try and showcase it. Boom, now that I have unveiled, or I got rid of those cards in the front, the cards behind it show up. And that's kind of how you have this combination of like drafting and also not knowing what all is available to you or when it's going to be available to you. It's very unique. So one of the things that's happening, if you see, this is a military card. So in a normal game of Seven Wonders, you win by having the most points. Not in this, necessarily. That is one way to win, though. They also have this military tracker. And every time you buy a military card, it's going to move this military token towards your opponent, or vice versa. And if you can make it all the way to the end here, you win. Thing is it's not all or nothing. Like, you don't have to get here to get benefit. If you see, there's these little squares that have benefits inside them as well. So I'm going to buy this card, and you're going to see the token move because of that. Just keep buying stuff for a sec. You're going to get resources. You're going to get victory points right here, much like you would in the normal game. I'm just going to drop this one because I'm not actually playing. But what's going to happen at the end of the round is we are going to build a brand new pyramid of cards. Ooh, yeah, we'll get that one for free. And that's the way that they do like each of the ages. Ooh, free 4 points. So let's get to the end here. And voila, new pyramid is out. I'm going to start the next stage. And you rinse, repeat. So here's the things I don't like about this version. The symbology is kind of annoying. Like, it has none of the art to kind of give you hints on what's actually going on with the game. In this one, nothing. You just got to know the symbols. The other piece is the wonders are really boring. Like, normally it's like the pyramids of Giza, which is, all of these are pyramids, so maybe a bad example, but they have the art of like what the actual wonder is, which is kind of fun. It's fun to build, the wonders of the world. It's part of the reason you're playing it. The only other complaint I have is it feels like there's a small learning curve. Like, knowing what all of this means does take a little bit, but once you know what it all does, then it's really easy to play. So yeah, this game takes 15, 20 minutes to play. They've added cool things like the military track. They have these advancement tokens that you can get through science and technology. Great game.
Number 4 is going to be Keyforge.
So I want to take a sec to explain why I'm putting this one in here. I have spent literally hundreds of dollars on Keyforge. It's a trading card game. It's made by the same creator who made Magic the Gathering, and it's really unique. As opposed to buying individual cards that you trade, you would actually trade entire decks. And that's because you buy a deck of cards, the whole deck, and every deck is completely unique. No two decks are alike at all. They have different names. They have procedurally generated decks to make sure they're not wildly over or underpowered, though that certainly does happen occasionally. And again, just the fact that you can buy a whole deck that's unique was really appealing to me. And again, I spent lots of money on it because of that. But you can play it online for free. And the way that you do that is you go to this website called the Crucible Online. And from here, it's got everything you need to actually play the game except for decks, which obviously seems important. You can upload decks into your profile and then go out and play the game. And the way you do that is Keyforge has you register every deck. Because they're all unique, they have what they call the master vault, and it's all the decks that have been registered. And you can find literally any deck that has ever been purchased and go to the link. Let's go to Samuelson, the quietly bellowing. If I could read, that'd be great. I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to go to import deck in this. I'm going to click this and boom, I now have Samuelson the quietly bellowing in my profile. I can now go play with this deck online. I didn't spend any money. You're not stealing anything from anyone. This person still has the deck and everything. So let's go check and see what a game looks like. We will start the game. What's going to happen in this game is if you see there's a variety of colored cards in my hand. They've got a little symbol in the top left. That is what house they are from. And what's going to happen is, as opposed to any like action economy with resources, you actually will declare which house you want to play. So I want to play what's called the Untamed right here. Play it. We'll play some cards out. And in this game, as opposed to actually like trying to kill anyone, though you can do that, there's combat, the goal is to collect a resource called amber. And what you do with amber is you forge keys. The keys are how you win the game. If you can forge 3 keys, you win, which means you're going to take turns going back and forth, attacking or collecting amber, and whoever can collect the most wins. I really enjoy this part of the game. It's not just killing each other, though of course that's part of the strategy. That can be fun. Instead, it's resource management inside a trading card game with tons of unique elements. So highly recommend this game, even if you decide never to actually buy anything from it. The game itself is just spectacular.
Number 5 is going to be Hive.
So in order to play Hive, we are going to go to boardgamearena.com. You're going to select Hive, invite your friend. You'll be able to jump in and play a game from a table. What's going to happen is you have control of a variety of insects. And one of those insects is the queen bee. It's like the king in chess. And the goal of the game is to surround your opponent's queen bee. So what that'll look like is I'm going to drop some insects on the board, taking turns between the 2 players. Let's drop the queen bee down for black. All right, I've got a few people down on here. If you're going to notice, I can move some of these insects as well. And every insect has a different way that they move. For instance, the grasshopper jumps over in a straight line a group of insects. And through this maneuvering of both placing insects and moving your insects, you're going to try and surround the opponent and win the game. And this includes actually, you can lose by surrounding your own queen bee on accident. So a wrong move can really give your opponent a huge chance to just like swing and beat you if you accidentally put something on your queen bee that you shouldn't have. Here's the extra kicker, the extra strategic element of this game. You can put creatures anywhere you want. As long as it is touching only your people, you can place them down. You can also move creatures onto other parts of the hive. So I'm going to move this ant all the way over here. This ant can't move. All of these connected insects are what's called the hive. And the hive can't be broken, meaning there can't be an insect just hanging off on its own, which means he cannot move this ant until my ant is gone. So this game has a couple of elements. One, placing your insects down at the right time, moving them in a way to attack the queen bee, but also moving them in a way to keep your opponent from moving their pieces as well. So now I have, a chance to move this whenever I want, and he can't move his creature until everything's said and done. So as we go back and forth, eventually someone's queen is going to get surrounded. I'm just going to fast forward to that. Fast forward complete. In order to win the game, we will move a piece around. If you see the black queen bee is surrounded by a variety of critters, I am going to place my ant here. And voila, I have won the game. So it's really fun. I mean, it's quick. I mean, games take like 7 or 8 minutes, and there's a lot of strategy and depth in it. It seems really simple. I mean, it's not as complicated as chess, and it's way more complicated than checkers. It sits somewhere in between. To me, this is a great time killer game where you can just say one more, one more, one more over and over again because it's fun enough, it's strategic enough, and it's very, very quick.
And that's it. Those are the top 5 2-player games you can play online for free. So go grab a friend, get out there, try them out. Let me know what you think. And if you have some ideas of your own, I have absolutely not tried all of the games out there. If you saw the platforms that I was showing you, there are tons and tons of games out there, and I've by no means tried them all. So if you know of any good ones, let me know. Please leave them in the comments. Also, if you like this kind of content, please hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and the subscribe button. Those things, one, help me, a growing YouTuber. They help me on the YouTube algorithm, but two, it's going to let you know when I release new content. Not only do I do these videos with lists or information or opinions or ideas, I also put out board game skits, some like jokes. Most of them are like 30 seconds or less. I think I'm pretty funny, so go ahead and check them out. Yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Get out there and game.